Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jasmine Pong, Head of Equities Singapore at Credit Suisse. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the 12th Credit Suisse ASEAN Conference, which commences today and will last for a week. This year, we are pleased to team up with ASEAN Exchanges, a collaboration of the 5 exchanges from Indonesia, Malaysia, the Philippines, Singapore, and Thailand, to present to you a series of differentiated advisory content and unique investment ideas. In this year's conference, we have over 340 equity clients and 49 corporates joining us via webcast. Around 250 meetings will take place over the next 5 days. Credit Suisse experts are looking forward to sharing their unique insights and actionable investment advice with you to navigate the current market conditions and identify the emerging trends and opportunities. 2020 has been an eventful but difficult year for the world, especially for ASEAN. The COVID-19 pandemic has exposed numerous vulnerabilities and continued to pose major challenges for the region. Beyond the serious public health effects, the pandemic has major economic implications, including productivity loss, supply chain disruptions, labor dislocations, and financial pressures on governments, businesses, and households. ASEAN governments have responded to the mounting challenge with varying degrees of lockdowns, fiscal and monetary stimulus, as well as major loan moratoriums and forbearance programs. In addition to the pandemic, ASEAN countries had to navigate the complexities of US-China relations, the transition in US presidency, as well as their own political and social challenges domestically. Despite all this, ASEAN markets staged a strong rebound from the lows in March last year, and MSCI ASEAN Index ending 2020 just down 9%. Looking ahead, as ASEAN economies transition towards the path of recovery, many interesting investment themes are emerging. The pandemic has accelerated a number of pre-existing trends, such as the migration to a digital economy and establishing a resilient supply chain. As households recover from the effects of lockdowns, the ASEAN consumption story will once again present structural growth opportunities. Let's look at the agenda over the next 2 days. Today, we are pleased to be hosting expert speakers from various ASEAN countries to discuss a range of important topics, as well as presenting to you key themes and investment themes in ASEAN for 2021. This afternoon, we will start with a panel discussion on healthcare, in which we will discuss how the pandemic has changed public and private healthcare sectors, and how the crisis has transformed and created a new standard for medical provision in ASEAN. On economics, we are pleased to have the Minister of Finance, Thailand, to discuss Thailand's strategy for a V-shaped recovery. On global trade, we will learn what the new regional comprehensive economic partnerships may mean for ASEAN. Is it hype, or can it live up to reality? Finally, on tourism, we will hear from experts on what the new normal might be for ASEAN. Tomorrow, we will explore digital banking and its progress across ASEAN, and whether ASEAN can transform into a cashless society. We also look at what Philippines' post-pandemic plans are to get back on the growth path and the transformation that's happening in Indonesia. Without further ado, I would like to thank you for your participation and the ASEAN Exchanges for their partnership, and invite Mr. Ramon Monzon, CEO of the Philippines Stock Exchange, to make some opening remarks on behalf of the ASEAN Exchanges. Mr. Monzon, over to you.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much, Jasmine. Good day to everyone. On behalf of the ASEAN Exchanges, I welcome all of you to the 12th Credit Suisse ASEAN Conference. We are pleased to be a partner of Credit Suisse in this notable endeavor to kickstart the new year. Investor sentiment and confidence turned around favorably in the global markets last November after Pfizer-BioNTech and Moderna announced the successful test results of their COVID-19 vaccines. This was a significant milestone in battling this devastating pandemic and signaled the light at the end of the COVID-19 tunnel. But let us not get carried away with over-optimism or fall into a naive belief that our battle against this devastating pandemic is over. There are immense challenges ahead, including scaling up manufacturing, distribution, and the monumental task of vaccinating billions of people. The recent discovery of a new coronavirus strain that is said to be 70% more contagious is one headwind that is now weighing on markets, as it may bring economies to a standstill once again. Lockdowns and travel restrictions have again been implemented in several countries. If prolonged, this will be a big blow to most ASEAN countries, which have a robust hospitality and tourism sectors. I am confident, though, that governments can and will respond better and in a more proactive manner to this new threat, given last year's experience and lessons in containing the virus. The ability to stem the spread of the new strain will determine if we will continue to see negative growth numbers this year, or if ASEAN's narrowed economic contraction in the third quarter is indeed a signal of better things to come in the new year. In a December 17 article, Bloomberg identified 3 countries in ASEAN, Thailand, Malaysia, and the Philippines, among the top 10 emerging market picks for 2021 based on economic and financial performance. The panel discussion of each country will concretely show what's being done by the public sector to ensure that ASEAN remains on course to economic recovery. I know there will also be one-on-one sessions with select listed companies in the coming days, and I hope these companies can share how they have managed to adapt to the new normal and in the process evolve their businesses. For the benefit of those who may not be familiar with ASEAN Exchange's initiatives, the leadership of these boards meet twice a year to discuss programs to promote the region as a single asset class. We have a recently revamped website that contains information and tools that can help investors analyze and compare companies across the region. We invite all of you to visit this website to see how it can be useful to you. Before I close, I wish to thank everyone for joining in this conference. I would also like to commend Credit Suisse for coming up with very relevant panel discussions so the audience can have a better pulse on how ASEAN fares in the sectors impacted by this pandemic. An industry that is most affected and have benefited and struggled from the pandemic is healthcare. To share with us how public and private healthcare has changed due to the pandemic are Dr. Fusit Prakongsai, Thailand's Ministry of Public Health Senior Advisor on Health Promotion, Dato Dr. Adiba Kamaruzalam, University Malaya's Dean of Faculty of Medicine, and Dato Dr. James Jacob Thomas, Chairman of the Board of Directors of Ramsay Sime Darby Healthcare Group. Happy New Year to all of you, and I wish all of you peace, good health, and prosperity for the new year. Let us all work together towards accomplishing our shared goals and aspirations. Together, we will not just survive, we will thrive. May this conference serve as a very meaningful and productive start for you in 2021. Thank you very much.